You see, I always have grass. And it's not the only thing. My vines have better fences, are better kept. I move the grapes out of the wires to let them breathe better. The more space they have, the better it is. Look, let me explain this. This is a pure Cordon de Roya pruning. You trim every 10 inches. So in the Côte de Beaune, they use the Vougeot pruning in Bordeaux too, and they say it's the best, and it's their point of view. But I think that with Pinot, I get better results with Cordon de Roya. I even have better polyphenols, better color, and more aroma in the wine with this trimming. Also, a major point is the vines age better and longer. Our wines go easily as far as 65, 70 years, whether with Vougeot training 50 years is a maximum. Between the rows of vines there is grass, which is regularly planted. Why grass? Because it stops the earth, the soil, from being packed down. When there are big storms and the earth is packed, the water rolls the rocks to the bottom of the hill, whereas the grass retains the earth. When the soil is very wet, the grass allows me to pass with the tractor, so I can react a lot faster if there is a problem in the vineyards, like a virus attack or something. When harvesting time comes, I have the grape pickers who carry small crates on their back and pour them in little wheelbarrows. The grass helps considerably the passing of the wheelbarrow. The grape pickers really enjoy the grass. Not in the morning so much, because it's still wet, but in the afternoon they're fighting over the fitted carpet, as they say. Can you explain again what you're doing with the mushrooms that you're sowing into the ground? What's the purpose of it? Yes, first of all, I only use biological, organic fertilizers, meaning cow manure, composted of course, mixed with horns and hoofs, that will generate the nitrates that the soil needs, but these nitrates will be liberated over a period of 5 to 6 years, not all at once. Now we also mix this with other organic compounds, namely what comes out of distilleries, aromatic herbs like lavender and other things. So soon enough, some people will say that my wines are smelling like lavender. So cow manure and horse manure, but this one comes from mushroom processed plants. So the nitrates have already been softened down, and also a little chicken guano. Then you put all that in a compost for 2 years. Then I sow micro mushrooms into the soil, especially for young vines. This is called mycorrhization, mycorrhization. It's being also done a lot in California now. And all the vineyards that are using this mycorrhization say that it develops better polyphenols of the vine, it gives more resistance to the vine, it gives more roundness, and of course it helps to build the immune system of the vine. I'm trying to look for early signs of rot, but I can't see any. Maybe one grape every 100 bunch or so, which is really, really low. So it really looks good again this year. We have a good rate of anthocyanins, which means good color. Some tests have already been performed on these grapes, but they also tell us that there could be some slightly harder tannins this year, so the wine won't have to stay too long in the vat. Here the soil is of clay and limestone with some chalk, hence the reddish color. Can you feel how soft the ground is? It's because the soil is plowed regularly. It's alive, not a dead soil. Feel how soft it is. When you put life into the soil, the vine feels fit and well, and you see, I don't know if you noticed, but I have grass at every turn and exit of each row, and it holds the earth during the heavy rains.
Si les désherbants s'en vont, ils sont retenus dans l'herbe et puis ils vont se dégrader petit à petit dans l'herbe.
So we did create a chart in Saint-Denis, and I was president of the Vine Growers Association of Burgundy at the time. And finally, the office of the INAO, the Controlled Appellation Governmental Agency, composed the chart for the whole of Burgundy, and now they're talking of enforcing it for the whole country. And I was responsible for this. I think we will get into our cars again, because this is a little far by foot. We have just tasted some grapes from your plot, and then we tasted some from the other plot next door, and the grapes really taste completely different. There is a simple explanation to this. When a leaf becomes tired, it means its physiological cycle is threatened, so it will elaborate less sugar. But when the leaves are all nice and green, it means that they're still very active. They perform the photosynthesis well, and they make starch and sugar, and so they taste better. Most systems used in biology are made of good common sense, but we are losing the good common sense. I use the water of my well, which has no chlorine, but also, before using the water, I let it sit in the sun for 2 or 3 days, like our fathers and grandfathers used to do in their garden. You don't give a shock to the plants. You spare them a thermal shock. You give them water at the same temperature, then their leaves, and they like that a lot better, and the leaves stay nice and green. It's a question of good sense and sensitivity also. If you love the plants and the vines, they will give it back to you. They will pay you back, and you will have great grapes and great wine.